What is up, my dudes, and the one girl who's just here for the spooky, scary skeletons sending shivers down your spine? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Just till it gets too cold, then we're going down to 2 videos. You've been warned. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 15% on a Cardo communicator? Check my referral link down below. You want to support me in my do-gooderness, like these guys here? Boom! Then check my coffee page down below. You want to know why I'm asking you for money? Spoiler alert, that link is also down below. Check it out. It's for a good cause, not for me. So today we're heading over to Salem, and essentially what we're going to be doing here is I am going to take you through Salem as a tourist, which basically means if you were here for like one day, Halloween season of course, and you wanted to get the most out of your time here, you wanted to see the most attractions, you wanted to make sure that your time was used in the best ways humanly possible, this is going to be the video for you. Now, disclaimer, Salem and its surrounding towns have a lot of history, and they have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to see for these small towns. So what I am doing is I am literally going to take you through as a tourist here for the Halloween stuff and give you the most bang for your buck. We're not going to go to every single haunted house. We're not going to go to every historic marker. What I'm doing is I want to show you where to park, where you should, like, you know, kind of start your adventure, and how to best utilize your time while you're here so you get to see and do as much as humanly possible. We are going in on a Tuesday, and it's still fairly early, so I'm actually kind of hoping that it's fairly quiet, mainly so I can get through everything and show you everything fairly easily, and we're just not spending our entire time trying to parse through the crowds. So I will catch up with you when we get a little bit closer to Salem. Well, this ride is about to get a whole lot more interesting because it's definitely starting to rain too. But we will carry on, we will persevere, and we will go to Salem to get this done. Yeah! I wonder what it's like to be a responsible biker who checks the weather ahead of time and packs rain gear when applicable. I feel like they have a much better control on life than I do. Alright, whatever. Oh, side note, little bit of a rant too. I just ordered the pin lock for this visor because, well, it's cold and things are getting foggy in here. Man, Rorock, like $12 for like shipping and handling? Are you on crack? Like, costs like half as much to have the thing shipped to me as the actual pin lock itself. That's nuts. And like, you have a US distribution center now. Are you hand delivering this thing to me? That's a little on the steep side there, guys. You might want to reconsider whoever you're going through. So I'm gonna park right around the Common because to me, I feel like the Common is a really good place to start if you're coming here for Halloween. Also for me personally, because I'm rolling in on a bike, what up squirrel, figure it out. Because I'm rolling in on a bike, a lot of times I can get parking at these crosswalks and stuff because a lot of cars stay away from the crosswalks just enough where I can squeeze in, kind of like what we're gonna do right now, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But for you guys, I'll show you some parking too when we get off the bike.
All right, so the likelihood that you're showing up on a bike is probably slim to none, especially if you're coming from out of town this time of year. You're probably showing up in a car. You should probably just get used to the fact that you're going to be paying to park. Most of the streets around here actually have signs that say resident parking only. So the likelihood of you finding a spot on the street is slim to none. Funeral homes like this, they actually have really huge parking lots in the back. Most of the businesses around here are going to charge you to park, and most of them are going to offer parking because this is like Christmas to them. Expect to pay probably about 30 bucks. But yeah, as I said, we're right on the back of the common. That's where all the stuff is. So first things first, we're going to check out stuff in the common. So like I said, I like to start in the common first because a lot of the stuff that we're going to go check out is pretty much in a straight line if you leave from the common. In theory, you could start on the other side as well, but you also got to find parking there. And a lot of people come into Salem from that side, which means they're going to take the first parking they find. They're not going to drive into Salem and look. So set your GPS for the common, get behind everything, and then park, and then come in. It's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. So one of the first things is most of the trucks and stuff are not here right now. They probably packed up and left for the week. We'll probably be back around like Thursday and through the weekend. So yeah, it is very scant right now, but this is the area to be. So one of your first tourist stops should be, once you get out of the common, would be the Salem Witch Museum. The Salem Witch Museum gives you a historic retelling of the whole Salem witch trials and whatnot. Quite honestly, the waxworks in there could use some updates for sure. A long time ago, I looked with a friend on like one of the review pages. I think it was like Google or something. And it basically just said it sounded like a bunch of sex noises for 45 minutes. Let that sink into your head if you go see it. But yes, overall, you do get a decent history lesson on, what happened, what transpired, and all that stuff. All right, so again, the common is right behind me. We're now moving over to Essex Street. Essex Street, if you come during Halloween, this is actually where most of the people are going to be costume-wise and all that, events, booths, and whatnot. So let's check this out. So I got a couple staples for you. You've got the Crow's Haven corner right there. That place has been here since I was a kid. Most of the shops around here tend to change over every couple years, but this place is steadfast. Right next to it, you have Remember Salem, Wignots, all that. If you go in there, there's a lot of Harry Potter memorabilia. They definitely lean into that. You can get yourself a bottle of butterbeer if you want. And, there's a couple other small things. There's also a ghost tour right there if you want to take it and get the history of Salem. And of course, there's also the Witch Walk. Basically, there's a lot of walking tours in Salem and a lot of options for you to do. We'll definitely come back here closer to Halloween. Like I said, this is just kind of like to show you the places to go, the things to do, all that fun stuff. Again, a couple shops. You're gonna have a ton of shops if you're looking for a t-shirt or some memorabilia or some rocks that will help your soul or something. So there you go.
So this is the Peabody Essex Museum. Normally they would have something going on Halloween related. Does not look like it this year though, so that's kind of a letdown. In past years they actually had Kirk Hammett from Metallica's whole horror collection in here. Oh well.
So we've made it to the Witch City Mall. This strip down this way actually has like a ton of shops, a ton of like little haunted houses and all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to show you one that a lot of people don't realize exists because it's not on the main strip. but it is worth your time, especially if you're looking for some cool stuff to check out, including like a demon clown playing a saxophone to Lean on Me. So most people don't realize if you're coming to visit, you can actually go inside the Witch City Mall, and there is a haunted house inside. Let's check it out. Want to get yourself a picture as a witch? Here you go. So it was pretty fun. It came in at $15 per person, so know that going into it. And I mean, really, prices are all subjective here because, let's be honest, $15 for waxwork with some jump scares and stuff. A little on the pricey side, but you're here to have fun. You're here to see the stuff, so probably not so expensive after all. So next up, we have the Witch's Mansion. We might circle back to this one. This will get very expensive otherwise. I'm guessing that this is also going to be very similar to what we just went into. So maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So next up would be Witch History Museum. Take you through guided tours of all the history and stuff like that. I have something a little bit more important though, and that would be Hotel Salem. The cool thing about Hotel Salem is they have a rooftop bar that gives you a nice view of Salem and beer. So let's go get a beer.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
The rooftop is not open due to the impending storm. Apparently they don't believe in just handing people kites and sending them on their way with a beer. Whatever. All right, on to the next. So again, we are on the same road. This is still Essex Street. We're just walking straight down it. The cool thing is for Halloween and stuff, they actually shut down the road. So no cars or anything are going through except for like an occasional van or something that's delivering supplies. Aside from that though, this is just a great walking sort of trip. So next up, I would recommend Count Orlocks here. This is actually a waxwork. It's right along the lines of like Madame Tussauds and stuff. I would go in there with the camera, but I know for a fact that you're not allowed to record. Just know that if you're looking for some really heavily detailed, well done waxwork, this is the place to go. So you may be thinking low-hanging fruit to have a statue of Bewitched here, but in actuality, the Hawthorne, which is down by the Common where we started, they actually filmed an episode of Bewitched there. Now we could continue down Essex Street, but we're actually going to take a slight detour instead. You notice the Army barracks over here. We're going to walk with that to the left of us, and I'm going to show you a few other things you should check out. So Lynn Street has Gallows Hill, which is a theater and museum, and it's quite popular for sure. And it has the Witch's Dungeon. So this is definitely a good street to take a walk down if you're here checking out Salem. So these two attractions are about a half a block apart from each other. We have the Witch's Dungeon here, Gallows Hill right back there. So these two are nicely together. But this is definitely a good stop. You get two of them at the same time. They're both very popular around Halloween. So it's something you definitely want to check out. So we're cutting across the parking lot right across from the Witch's Dungeon just to get back over to Essex Street. One of the things I do really want to point out is get here as early in the day as humanly possible. There will be tons of stuff for you to see and do. Don't worry about that. But the closer you get to Halloween, the busier it gets, the more packed it gets, the harder it is to park, the harder it is just to get into the town. Salem doesn't really have any good inlets. They're all very small, tight roads. So traffic backs up exponentially when coming into this town. So earlier, the better. So this is the Witch House. It was built in 1642. It has some of the last real ties to the Salem witch trials. They do tours here, and it's on Essex Street. Again, just nice straight line. Totally worth coming to, especially if you're into the whole history of everything that is Salem, the witch trials and whatnot. Let's take a look at a few other things, and then we're gonna get out of here. And again, I do want to stress, this is not the be-all, end-all. This is not everything that you can see in Salem. If you're coming here on a weekend, especially closer to Halloween or during Halloween, Essex Street is going to be packed with booths, people, costumes, all that stuff. So that's going to take up a lot of your time. This is the stuff that, you know, if you go in a straight line, if you hit all this stuff, you're going to have all the different sightseeing things and haunted houses and all those extra things that just kind of make things fun to check out.
So right here, if you just pass the Nightmare Gallery and you take a right, this is actually where the town hall from Hocus Pocus is. If you follow this block to the end, you actually have a whole different area for stuff to see for Halloween and whatnot. We're mainly focusing on what's quick and easy and keeping you guys from getting lost though.
All right, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do the haunted house.
Welcome, thrill seekers, for you are about to experience Salem's Witch Mansion. Experience Salem's Witch Mansion.
For real, that one was more like if you went into like a spirit Halloween shop and just bought everything. It really felt like I was just walking through a spirit Halloween display. But 12 bucks, whatever, it's worth it. It's, well, at least to me it's worth it because it was just fun to go through. All right, so we're finishing up right by the Common and the Salem Witch Museum. They're both right over there in front of the John Ward House. This is a house that was built right around 1684. It is one of the last houses of its kind. If you notice, it does kind of look like the witch house, and well, that was the style back then. This one's kind of cool. If you want a picture in front of a house like that and you don't want to deal with all the traffic and stuff, the witch house everyone goes to. It's on the corner of a street. There's a lot of traffic and a lot of people. It's also right next to the Ropes Mansion, which is the whole Hocus Pocus like touring thing. So this one is a little bit more off to the side. You get the same visual, same sort of effect, and it's just one of those cool things if you want a cool old school sort of picture. That's about all I got for you today, though, guys. I'm not going to put the cameras back on for the ride home because it is starting to rain a whole lot more. And yeah, I don't want to ruin those GoPro 11s already. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tour. Are any of you coming to Salem? Do you have any plans to do that? Is it your first time here? Let me know down below. sound off in the comments. Hey, maybe we can meet up and have a beer if you're coming out this way. Definitely hit me up. I'm always down to meet new people. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one girl you know who would really like to take a picture in front of that house. She loves this stuff, trust me. See y'all on the flip side.